My name is April Howton, and I am a budding entrepreneur. So one of the businesses I own is called Studio 23, and Studio 23 is going to be 10 years old this year. And the whole idea really started because I was tired of something. I had a good friend and we loved to make stuff. She would make pottery and I would rebuild furniture and repaint it, and it was just fun. And I sold a couple pieces to friends, and she said we should go do shows. And I was like, oh, let's do it. So we started doing shows. We'd load up trailers. Her pottery looked great on my furniture. We would do really good and sell out. We were so blessed, and we would stay up till 2 in the next morning trying to make more stuff for the next day. And it was just exhausting, but we loved it. But it was like, this is so much fun. And I remember we were in Russellville, Alabama at a watermelon festival. I believe that's what it's called. And I was exhausted. I was so tired. I took a nap in the car while she's selling stuff because we had stayed up all night trying to make stuff for the next day. And I came into the tent. It was my turn for her to go take a nap. And I said, we just should open our own studio. I'm so tired of hauling everything. And 6 weeks later, we had keys to an 800 square foot little commercial building on Pine Street. And we opened our own studio, literally because we were tired of hauling stuff around to shows. And I said, if we do this, our rent was $350. And we were like, can we do this? Can we make this? I don't know, but we're going to do our best. And we opened 2 Saturdays a month. That was it. And I was like, we'll advertise it. We merged our Facebook pages. I said, we'll advertise 2 Saturdays. You work one, I work one, and let's see if we can make this happen. So we opened in October. And I remember our opening day, I looked at, because we only had 5 parking spaces, and I pulled up and they were full, and there was double cars parked behind people. And I said, is this your family? She's like, no. And I'm like, well, my family's not, what's happening? And we had like a whole parking lot. We were so excited for opening day. So we had a great opening day, made our rent, that's all we cared about. And then a Saturday went by, another Saturday, and we opened again, and the parking lot was full again, and people were parking across the street and walking. We're like, what is happening? And I was like, are you running a special? You didn't tell me? Like, why are people here? And it was just really cool because we were like, wait a minute, maybe we're onto something. So we stayed in that location for 6 months, 800 square feet. I think it was like 850. And we outgrew it very fast because we started taking custom orders. We started going, hey, maybe we're onto something here. Let's see these trends play out. And 6 months in, we had outgrown it. So we're like, we've got to find something else. Well, at that time, we had another friend that did photography and art, and she was looking for a location to sell her stuff. And we're like, what if we brought her in? And so we asked her, she came in with us. We found a spot in 7 Points. We moved in there, and our first spot there, it was 2,500 square feet. And I remember walking in going, we will never fill this up. We'll never fill this up. And we stayed there for 3 years. And at 2-year mark, the space beside us became open. So we rented that too. So we went to 3,800 square feet. Again, we'll never fill this up. And we stayed there 3 years. And at the end of our lease, we had are we going to renew our lease, or are we going to go bigger? And the Christmas before our lease renewal, we had a local artist come to us and say, hey, I can't remember what she did. It might have been jewelry. And I'm looking for a place to sell this. Could I sell this for Christmas? And we thought, oh, this is perfect. That'll bless her and help us. And so we let 8 other artists come in just for the Christmas time. They did well. They told people about us. And then, Christmas time, we just kept rolling. We're like, maybe we're onto something here. So we're now, 3.5 years into this, and we said, we need to go bigger. And so instead of renewing our lease, we bought a building downtown, which it is over 12,000 square feet inside. Again, we'll never fill this up. And then we have a wonderful 7,000 square feet outside if needed. And we took some visits to other art galleries around Alabama. And the concept of us opening our art gallery and having other makers come in is what came into play. And so here we are going on year 10, and we have over 129 makers in our studio. We need more space. I'm not moving again. It would be great, but it's not happening. And so really that's how we started. We started with literally $1,200 in our pocket, all the way to buying a building downtown and being, as we know of, the largest art collective in the state of Alabama right now. One challenge you're always going to have is dealing with the public. Number one, it's going to happen. I wish it didn't, but it's going to happen. You know, TikTok is huge right now, and they have those Karen pages that say, I have a lot of friends named Karen that are really great people, so I hate using that name. But dealing with the public is always going to be hard. Thankfully, we have been blessed with that. But one thing that was the hardest for me was because of our business, and we did not know anyone else that had done a business like us before. There are antique galleries that people would rent a booth, but it's not art. It's not handmade. And so finding something that was close to what our idea was extremely hard, and we really haven't found much about it. So we kind of wrote our story all the way of, this is our business plan, even though we don't know if it's going to work because we can't find anyone who's done it before. So that was hard in itself, but what was harder is when our business plan was stolen, and I had to deal with that. And it was one of those things where I'm like, how can someone, and when I say stolen, because we all, are we all reinventing the wheel? Everything from down to our contract was taken from us, word for word. I mean, it was very obvious that was literally our business plan, because we love helping other entrepreneurs. We love, in the Montgomery, we call it our sister store. There's another art gallery down there that literally we helped them with, we met with them, we showed them contracts. They literally built their studio after our concept, and we love that because we want to help. But I think seeing another studio open up and out of the blue behind the back, and then going in and visiting and literally seeing word for word your stuff that you took hours to do, it was hard. And being the adult, I want to say that I handled it well, but behind closed doors I didn't. But it hurt. But at the same time, it was one of those things where I took it and I went, you know what, instead of being hurt by this, there's enough art for everybody. That's not the deal. But I'm going to turn those kind of minuscule things into compliments, because what a compliment that someone felt what I was doing was good enough to take that idea and do something else. And so I've learned that. I wish I had learned that way earlier in life, but I take those little things that kind of give you that gut wrench and go, wait a minute, it's a compliment. I'm going to take it as a compliment, and I'm going to keep moving on, and I'm going to speak good of them. And it just is what it is, because I do feel it comes back all the way to you. But it's being able to glean from other people and learn is one thing. Taking something from other people is another thing. And there's a lot of that in the business world. I wish there wasn't, but there is tons of it. But that's probably one of my hardest things I had to learn as a business owner. Oh, you own your own business, so you don't have to work a lot. Yeah. So there is, in the art world, there's a funny saying that says, why buy it for $50 when I can make it for $300 in 20 hours? Because that's what artists do. We're like, I see something, I'm inspired, I'm going to make that, and it takes us forever, because that's what we do, and tons of supplies. But it's the same thing as owning your business, because people look and they're like, oh, that's so nice, you can set your own schedule, and yes, that is true, that is a blessing. I can set my schedule, I don't have to miss children's games and birthdays, absolutely. But they don't see the hours that are put in. I don't work a 9-to-5 40-hour job, but I will tell you there have been weeks where I did work 60 to 70, especially during high point season when it is just insane. I was just talking to my daughter about it this morning. I'm like, we're enjoying kind of the slower days right now, because we all know what's going to happen, because we'll work 70, 80-hour weeks. And, we don't get paid for those hours. We're, just because we've got over 40, we don't get overtime. When you own your own business, you work till it's done. And that's just last night. I don't think I came in till 10:30, 11 o'clock. And that's just the way it goes, though, sometimes. So yes, you might get to set your own schedule. You might get your days off that you want, but there's no one else behind you to do what needs to be done. If that toilet needs to be cleaned, that trash needs to be taken out, and your person cleaning is not coming till next week, or they're sick and they can't come in, guess who does it? There's no backup plan. I truly do, in high school, you could not graduate without having a class in taxes and a class in in waiting tables. I really wish. I think that is where you learn life skills in there. But honestly, not having I don't have a college degree. School is wonderful, stay in school, okay? But I don't believe it's for every learning type at times. So I did go to college. I didn't graduate with a degree. I went for the social experiment because I just wanted out of the house. I was 18 and like, let's go, this could be fun. But college was not for me. Now, had I known what I wanted to do now, yes, if I had taken some business classes, some accounting, it would be way easier than like begging my husband to do my taxes because I don't know what I'm doing. Definitely, but I'm a very hands-on learner and I'm okay to fail if it's hands-on because I know what worked and what didn't work. I don't like reading about it because I'm like, well, let me try it. You know, I have that kind of mentality of it. But it's have people in your pocket, in your back pocket, that you can say, hey, I'm not sure how to turn in taxes here. Hey, I'm not sure about this legal documentation paperwork. And don't feel like you have to know it all. I feel like entrepreneurs feel like they've got to have business degree, accounting degree, and I don't feel that way because I feel there are people that are absolutely amazing at that, and I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to pay them for that, and they'll pay me for being the entrepreneur I am, and they'll pay me and come in my store and you know, buy from people. So that's I know it sounds silly maybe, but that's one of my biggest things is because I don't have that business background. I thought I had to learn it all and Google everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, there are people that went to school for this. I'm going to go to them. So be okay to reach out to resources. You don't have to have it all. You might just have a business idea and have no idea how to plan it out. That's okay, because there are people that went to school to plan out a business for you. There are people that went to school to learn to write a business plan. I Googled, how do you write a business plan? I mean, it was bad. It was so bad. But I was like, I didn't know. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's people that know how to do this. So I'm going to take advantage of that.